Hey, good morning, everybody. This lesson is going to be for your Wednesday, December 13th class periods. And I'm going to go through A, where to find this lesson so that we know which one it is, and B, a quick overview of how to do it. I'm going to show you how to complete this activity through the virtual side, the one that's in Google Classrooms, because it is on a Google slide in order to complete. If you're doing it in class, I'll go through additional instructions as I go through the online version of this that's in Google Classroom and just tell you the differences between doing it online and hard copy, which anybody who subs for me should have a copy of those since I broke them into class periods and attached them to the lesson plans for each class period. All right, so let's get ready to start this. All right, first of all, as you can see on the screen, I'm in my Google Classroom with second period. It's not going to matter what period you are. They're all laid out the same. Some of them have some variances, but for this particular lesson, uh, everybody's going to have the same thing. So when you come here, once it's time and your class period comes, you could find the lesson right here in the stream at the top. Currently, it's showing the one from yesterday about the homologous structures. I know there was a video issue with that yesterday. I tried to fix it. Something happened between the link of me creating it through Screencastify, moving it to YouTube, importing it back into Classroom, and adding those embedded questions that caused some kind of situation there where it didn't work correctly. So after I finish this video, I'm going to redo that video. I will have it up there so that you have an opportunity to complete that video as well. All right, so let's go through where to find this stuff. So first, I'm going to go through classwork because I can see everything there. So if I click on classwork, you're going to see that yesterday's is the only one. If I click off of this, you'll see in mine it's gray. It simply means it hasn't opened yet for you. Here's yesterday's. So once I get that video re-embedded, I'm going to put that video into a separate lesson. It will be right above yesterday's. And when this video is finished, I'm going to put it right above the one for today. So you'll have a video that says video lesson for evidence of evolution terminology mat. And then you'll have one below the lesson, which is the evidence of evolution for terminology maze. And then you'll have another video right below that for yesterday's evidence of evolution homologous structures, the HSLS4 lesson. All right, for now though, let's just open this. I'll pull it up and show you what it's going to look like from your perspective. So when you open it, it's on a slide. It's going to be hard to read. You'll see these two symbols here. Those are the symbols we're going to use to complete this maze. It does take a little more finesse to do this one because you're going to have to turn the arrow as you go along. Let me, first of all, so that we can see this, we're going to click on that arrow and we're going to change this to 90% on mine. You may have to go other areas in order to do yours. You're going to have to slide back and forth to find your two symbols in order to complete this virtually. If you're doing this on paper, hard copy, you're simply going to put your name and the date, and then you're going to color in. You're going to choose a color. If you want to choose two and do one for the boxes, that's fine, and then do one for a pathway. But if you're on hard copy, I want the full pathway colored. I don't just want you to draw a pencil line through whichever one you go through. So let's look at the directions real quick. Beginning in the start block, you're going to read the question and you're going to select and follow the pathway of the correct answer to the next block. We're going to continue this process until we reach the finish. So the start is in the top left corner of the document. The finish will be in the bottom right hand, which means no two boxes are going to circle back to each other. There is a direct route to each of the next boxes. And the way this works, like they said, is we're going to read this question. After you read the question, we will go ahead and put in our symbol stating that that's one we're going for. And then we will choose between the terms that they give us around that to figure out which direction we're going to travel with our arrow. So let's give this a shot and get this started. So first thing I would do if I was online is I would type my name into the box. Of course, I would put the date. For us, that's 12/13/2023. Then I will go to my start and I read the question. It says the remains of organisms that once lived are known as. So I need to go over here and get this box. Control C. I'm going to come up here. Control V. And then I'm going to drag it. And I'm going to keep dragging it till I get it into the right space. And once I'm there, I'll click off of it. My box is shaded. So now that I've read it, I have to decide. The remains of organisms that once lived are known as either fossils, cells, an archaeologist, photosynthesis, or genes. We should know from lesson 2, a fossil debate, that this is fossils. So how do I do that? I come down, I click on this, Control C, I make a copy, I hit Control V, it lets me have that copy, and now, of course, I'm going to start this dragging process. And if with a bigger screen, this makes it difficult, but at the same time, you'll notice I also want you to follow the boxes, which means you're going to have to use this little piece at the top, and you're going to have to turn them so that they flow perpendicular to the arrow, to the area they need to be. And then from there, you can just drag it up into the box. And if it's a little big, you can always shrink it. So the way to do that is if you come on this, the better way to do it is if it would let me just drag it back at an angle and up. There, I have my arrow pointing to the next box showing that fossils is going to be the correct answer. Then I'll go on to my next box. Which structures do not indicate a common ancestor? Meaning, which one is going to indicate that there is not a common ancestor there? So again, we come down here. It's Control C. Then anywhere on here, Control V. I'll get it. I'll drag it. I'm going to move it to where I'm going. It does take a second. It's not bad, but it's going to take you a second. If you want to just make a bunch of copies and put all those in, you can still see it. That's also okay. Make sure that your arrow is pointing the correct direction and not that you're moving backwards, because that's going to lose points. So if you're online, this is how you're going to continue it. And from here, you would just find which of these 3 that are attached to this are the correct answer, and that would lead you then to a box. The greatest thing about doing this online is if you don't know what an analogous structure is, you can type it in. So if I go up here, open a new one, type it in, hit enter, it's going to pop up and tell me what it is. Then I can go back to my maze and figure out if that's the answer to the question that I'm trying to do. All right, so if you're online, that's the way that you're going to get this done. Once you finish this in Google Classroom, you would have to go back here. You would submit it like normal, click turn in, and you will be finished. This should not take you long. This is a review of terminology so that when we start our project on Thursday and Friday, you don't have to look up all the terminology again about what these things mean and how do I use these terms to help explain how I know that my unknown is what it is, and more importantly, how do I know that I put them in the order of that cladogram that you're going to build that you need to be able to explain. All right, so if you have any questions, again, you can email me. Feel free to reach out at the Google Voice number that's also attached to the assignment. You also have it in Google Classroom at some point. I will put it in there again as a comment in the instructions for this in case you have questions. That Google Voice number does forward directly to my phone, so I will get text from you in real time and be able to text you back. Have a great day. And again, look for the video lesson from yesterday to be attached. I know that it's late because whatever happened with that video, I'm not entirely sure. So be sure to look for it. If nothing else, try to complete the video. If you don't get the assignment finished, that's going to be fine. Remember to watch this one, turn in this video assignment before starting the lesson so that you know how to do it. Have a great day, and I will see you on Thursday.